In the beginning, there was the Pacific Ocean. A canoe broke the horizon, piloted by a beautiful Polynesian woman who dominated the waves until she felt safe to stop. The maiden used a digging stick given to her by her uncle to make a pit of molten lava that was cooled by the ocean and became an island. But the water goddess appeared and looked down upon the maiden with wrathful eyes. The two were sisters, and soon they began fighting. Ultimately, the goddess defeated the maiden, extinguished the fire pit, and left her sister for dead. The maiden remained on the ground. Her body that once seduced the goddess's husband was battered. But the hot-headed maiden picked herself up, boarded her canoe, and sailed east. The sisters fought several more times on the maiden's new islands, until the goddess killed her adulterous sister. During a present-day Hawaiian luau, a tourist went looking for a smoking section and encountered a Polynesian maiden. He offered her a cigarette. She accepted and lit it with fire from her finger. The maiden was Pele, Hawaii's goddess of fire, and this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, thank you very much for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, Episode 1, Pele, Hawaii's Goddess of Fire. I am Kamuela Kaneshiro. Later on this episode is your featured Hawaiian word and song. But first, what is this podcast about? Legends from the Pacific is a show dedicated to the respectful understanding of the various Pacific cultures occupying Asia, Australia, the Americas, and all the islands in between. These cultures are steeped with stories and people who shaped their civilization, and Hawaii is no exception. The Hawaiians were and still are very spiritual. They were the first to arrive in Hawaii from Tahiti, but their gods and wars created ghosts, hauntings, and curses that are attached to many places on the island till today. When other cultures immigrated to Hawaii, they also brought their gods and beliefs, but perhaps the most active among Hawaii's supernatural beings is Pele. Pele is known as Pele Honu Aumea, Madam Pele, or Tutu Pele. Tutu is Hawaiian for grandmother. Our opening story is only one of Hawaii's many creation stories, and explained how Pele traveled with her unborn sister Hi'iaka to the Hawaiian Islands from Tahiti. Pele's older sister, the water goddess, destroyed Pele's body on the big island of Hawaii, but Pele became a god, and her soul went to Kilauea Volcano, where she is safe from her vengeful sister. Kilauea is on the big island of Hawaii, but Pele has been seen on all the Hawaiian Islands. The following is based on collected testimony. One night, a man was driving through Oahu's North Shore sugarcane fields when he hit a woman in a white dress. He slammed his brakes, but her folded body remained on the hood of his car. As the driver tried to figure out where the woman came from, the woman lifted her head, smiled to the man, and floated into the sky. As stated, it's unclear if this was Pele. Sometimes Pele travels with a white dog, and it's common to see her in pictures after they're developed, or in the smoke and lava of Kilauea Volcano. Pele warns us not to take lava rock from her home, or she'll curse you. While skeptics have claimed this story is made up to prevent vandals from chipping away at the volcano, officials at Volcano National Park receive daily rock deliveries from cursed individuals with letters explaining their misfortunes, apologizing for their ignorance, and directions of where to return the rocks. Another Pele curse is on Oahu's Pali Highway. It is forbidden to take pork from one side of the island to the other using the old road. If you do, your car will break down, or you'll encounter bad luck. Years ago, my colleague Dr. Glenn Grant, who we'll talk about on a future episode, shared a story with me. Dr. Grant was a master storyteller and collected Hawaii ghost stories. A quiz show wanted to film him asking paranormal questions. He agreed and sent them what he was going to say. On the night of the shoot, they filmed Dr. Grant on the Pali Highway. But for the pork question, the director or producer of the shoot brought out a slab of pork he wanted Dr. Grant to hold in front of the camera while saying pork. Dr. Grant was furious that pork was brought to the Pali and refused. The meat was put down while the two argued, but a commotion stopped their squabbling. Somehow the pork knocked down the camera. The equipment was damaged and the footage was destroyed. No one knows how the pork got airborne. Now, I work in the film and television industry for decades, and I could tell you, it takes a lot to damage a camera and destroy its film. People do make offerings to Pele, though contrary to popular belief, virgin maidens are not sacrificed to her. Pele's offerings are flower leis, tobacco, and gin. You know, it's kind of odd that tobacco and gin are high on Pele's offering list because they were introduced to the Hawaiians by European sailors, but I'm not going to argue with a goddess. It's also questionable that Pele is the goddess of hula. While Pele's younger sister, Hi'iaka, became the first hula dancers usually pray to the goddess Laka for inspiration. Today, Pele's influence is seen in art and nature. Tear-shaped dried lava is known as Pele's tears. Strands of dried lava is called Pele's hair, and Pele's seaweed is underwater lava. On Jupiter's moon is an active volcano that has been named after Pele. Tori Amos had a third album, Boys for Pele, which refers to the Hawaiian goddess. Then, in the late 2000s, Pele not only debuted on the pages of DC Comics, but she also fought Wonder Woman. And Pele continues to create. See, there's an active seamount off the Big Island's coast named Loihi. Loihi has the potential to become an island. It'll just take another 200,000 years before it breaks the ocean surface. Still to come, this episode's featured Hawaiian word and song, but now, a story. The following is based on a Legends from the Pacific exclusive interview. When I was younger, me and my friends were in my friend's truck going over the Pali from town to Kilauea. I was riding in the bed with a couple others, and the clouds were really low. It was like fog, which was strange because Hawaii doesn't have fog. I remember seeing the fog streaming around the back of the truck and noticed a white cloud in the middle of the road following us. At first I thought it was the moon or something from the truck was reflecting off the fog, but the cloud was getting bigger and closer. That's when I realized it wasn't a cloud, but a big white dog. I thought I was seeing things, but my friends saw it too, and one of them yelled at the others riding inside to speed up. Pele's dog is chasing us. My friend gunned it. We pulled away and watched the dog return into the fog. We were scared because we saw her dog, so Pele must be around, but we didn't see her that night. The following is based on collected testimony. Decades ago on the Big Island of Hawaii, a man was driving home from his graveyard shift. The inconsistent hours and taking the kids to school or whatever they were doing caused his days to blur together. The desolate road was notorious for putting drivers to sleep. They drift off-road and usually died. If they survived the crash, the nearest hospital or payphone was miles away, and who knows when the next car will drive by. His dangling seatbelt clicked his door. He checked his cigarettes. 2 smokes won't cover the 3-cigarette trip. Something along the side of the road caught his eye, and there, on the shoulder, hobbled an old Hawaiian lady. Her white dress reflected his headlights as he pulled over and offered her a ride to town. She accepted, and he was happy her company would keep him awake. She entered, sat on the back seat, and they continued together on the grim road. He offered her a cigarette, which she accepted, and he took his last one. He offered his lighter. The old lady waved it away. "A ole pili kia," she said. "No problem." And the old lady lit her cigarette with fire from her finger. The man lit his cigarette and shrugged off the lady's actions as him seeing things. The lady's silhouette dominated his rear mirror. Her face would be illuminated by her cigarette before the darkness reclaimed her. He asked the lady where in town she lived. His seatbelt clicked his door. Smoke surrounded the lady. He ashed his cigarette and named people she might know. The lady looked at Kilauea volcano, silhouetted against the pre-dawn horizon. "The volcano looks strange," she said. The man chuckled. "The volcano's dormant. It hasn't erupted in years," he said. The lady stared at Kilauea. "The volcano looks strange," she repeated. The lady then instructed the man to place Hawaiian tea leaves around his house. Hawaiian tea leaves are one of the items used in Hawaiian ceremonies. The man asked for the lady's name. His seatbelt clicked his door as the lady faded into the darkness. Not long later, Kilauea volcano erupted. Rivers of lava destroyed roads, reclaimed the developed lands, and threatened residential areas. Many evacuated, some stayed, and cried when the lava consumed their homes. But, in the middle of this, a stream of lava split in half and avoided a house surrounded by Hawaiian tea leaves. Pele will reward you if you respect her and punish you if you don't. One story involved her appearing as an old woman asking for food and water. Only one family helped her. The family was poor, but they didn't complain and gave Pele their food until she was satisfied. Pele later rewarded the family and punished the rest. Many point to the lessons of Pele as a reason for the hospitable nature of Hawaiians. Coming up is your featured Hawaiian word and song. This was our first episode, so please rate us, write a review, and share Legends from the Pacific with your friends and family. I'd also appreciate hearing from you. So let me know what you liked, if there's any stories you'd like to hear me talk about, or if you just wanted to say hi, that's cool too. Just go to our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, where you'll be able to send me feedback and also view our show notes. Your Hawaiian word for this episode is Aina, which means land, and is part of Hawaii's state motto. The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. In Hawaiian, that would be Uamau keia o ka aina I ka pono. Practice that a few times. I know you'll get it. Our sound effects were by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy. Special thanks to Miko Fanconi and John Yamasato. The show's theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Tavana is also this episode's featured musician, and here he is playing our theme song, Mystery. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kaneshiro. Thank you once again for listening. Mahalo and ahui ho. Thank you, and until we meet again.
Magic fire blazing, dancing with the moonlight. Spirits ageless, always flirting with the mystery. I can hear the rain and summer live, rolling across the plains of the driest land. I know now that the drought is gonna end. I know now that the flood is surely coming. We're working, sweating, bleeding, trying to find what isn't found. We're living, loving, feeling fully in the right now. Take me to the land of the rising sun. I can hear the prophets of the Holy One. Take me on a train to the rhythm town, where I can hear the saints to the sacred sound. The wind will always blow the way, and I know the tide's gonna rise again. If only you just believe, baby. I'll never go astray, and I know things are gonna be okay.